What's up, y'all? Welcome, welcome. It is December 30th, 2021. Can you believe in 2 more days we will see 2022? I am so thankful and blessed to be able to see that. We will be talking about Venus retrograde today on our show. Everybody that has joined, that is joining in, and we'll get started. I'm Tanae. I'm going to be your host. And hey, what's up, Cassie?
Hey, how you doing?
Girl, blessed and highly flavored as always. How are you?
I am so swell, thank you.
All right, all right. So let's go. What are we talking about today?
Okay, so we are here to talk about Venus retrograde. We're going to break it down first by talking about what's a retrograde.
Girl, so when you think you're going forwards, but you're really going backwards, that is a retrograde,
hmm
i.e., the planets appear to be going in reverse, but it's just a time for us to slow down and really evaluate what that particular planet means to us and how we kind of express that energy. It's just a time of year where it's a slowdown. It's a good reevaluation, and I think we're at the end of the year. Now is as good a time as any to evaluate what we love, who we love, and how we love. Just love and money.
Absolutely. And yeah, like astrology as a whole is predicated on the principle that where the planets are at any given moment affects what's happening to us. And that's like the moment you're born and take your first breath. That's why we do like what we call natal charts, which is
Mm-hmm.
where the planets were at that exact moment in relationship to where you were on the face of the earth. And
Right.
like we decide that means something, and all those planets have different influence. And so during retrograde periods, planets their energy is cattywampus. It's just
That's a great
different.
word.
Like it's it is like kind of like the whole march of history is 2 steps forward, 3 steps back type of thing, 4 steps forward, 1 step back. Like those step backs are akin to retrograde periods.
And they
So
are actually helpful because then you're just not blasting full speed ahead and forgetting where you came from, forgetting where you're going, and really evaluating like where you actually are. I don't mind retrogrades. Sometimes, okay, most times they're a lot, but at the end of it, I'm like, oh, okay, I see you, girl. Okay, we good now.
yeah, lessons learned for sure. And so this retrograde that we're talking about is in Venus. So what is Venus in charge of in the zodiac?
For the love of money, gotta get that money, man. Okay, no,
You can't
so
be using copywritten material,
oh, my bad. Just
singing
kidding.
songs in a
Okay,
live. Don't
okay.
come
So
for wait,
it's
whose song is that?
oh my God, it should be Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Okay, please, Bone Thugs, don't come for us. We're not making any money off this shit yet.
We Midwest too though. Okay, so my
Yeah,
bad.
we love
No,
you.
okay, let's try that again. So Venus rules love and money. Venus rules the zodiac signs of Taurus and Libra. Both signs are known for their style, beauty, and material luxuries, I think. So those two signs are very comfortable in Venus. Those two signs have a really good affinity for beauty and the value of love and all of that. So when she go retrograde, you know,
They
a
feel
lot of
it.
a lot of things that you think you knew but you really don't, you find out during that retrograde.
hmm Yeah. And what's interesting too, when I was researching for this episode that I didn't realize is Venus doesn't go retrograde very much. I guess I realize it on some level because I don't read about it a lot. And it's a planet that has shorter transit. So like with Mercury, you think you're always hearing about Mercury in retrograde because it happens like three
Right.
times a year. Because Mercury is going quickly around the
All
sun,
the time.
changing position in the sky a lot.
Hmm.
Um, but Venus is moving out there too, but she don't go retrograde a lot. So when she does, shit gets spicy.
Talk about, oh, spicy, girl, spicy
Spicy.
and extra dramatic.
Yeah. And because we're talking love and money and relationships and material objects and things we attach value to, these things tend to hit us very hard when they go wonky. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I was thinking
And
about, oh, go ahead.
Venus always stays close to the sun. So there that's like who you are, and like how you really love. Like those are really, really valuable and important things to people. And it only retrogrades every year and a half or so. So it takes a minute for us, I think, to learn those lessons after the retrograde. And then it's like, all right, here we are again.
Yeah, yeah. I looked up when the last time Venus went into retrograde was, and it was May and June of 2020. And so I very distinctly remember this season as, so we'd all gone into lockdown in March, right? Like across the United States at various times of that month. And everyone, I remember everyone early on thought we would be done with this shit in 8 weeks. Everyone was like, okay, we're just all going to stay home for a little while and then everything's going to be fine. And then like when that didn't happen, so many people started breaking up. I remember like at least one couple fully called it quits during that period. Another couple I knew was going through a trial separation. Like and it was like a running joke, and it was happening in Gemini. Like Aries Gemini was the transit. And so for those of you who don't know, Aries, first sign of the zodiac, is all about the self, what you want, everything. If you have prominent Aries placements, you are a very self-involved person, and that's fine. Like I'm not saying that as a judgment thing, because everybody needs to be self-involved to some extent. Like you can't martyr yourself. You need to be concentrating on making sure you're okay. But Aries can take that like a little too far. And then Gemini is just, oh no, it would have had to have been Taurus Gemini, because Aries and Gemini aren't next to each other. I must have that wrong. Is Taurus Gemini? It was definitely Gemini.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, it was a mess, yeah. And everybody's communication was fucked up, and people were breaking up all over the place.
And honestly, that is the truth. What happens during a Venus retrograde is that if you do break up, it's meant to be, and that may be a hard pill to swallow. But usually, Venus retrograde is going to bring up any relationship issues or any issues that have been seething under the surface for a very long time. Venus retrograde will let you know loud and clear, hey, it's time to deal with it. And either the relationship will work through those problems or they won't, and the split will happen, and it's okay. Something better will come about. And you may not realize it until after Venus goes direct, but during that time, and you will see a lot of celebrity public breakups or a little, messiness, Kanye. But you understand that it's always for the best. Retrogrades are never to harm us. They're always to teach us deep lessons and really take off rose-colored glasses in love and what we value, so that we can see clearly what we really need to be focused on.
Yeah, that's super real. I have to pause us for a second because I forgot to say this at the top of the episode. But
of course,
our producer Coral is in the chat. If you have any questions about anything we're talking about, at the end, we're going to take some questions, or a question, anything. Please, but I'm just saying, somebody's watching, not us, or we're not supposed to be, but put that out there. Okay. Yeah. So May, June 2020 was the last Venus retrograde. So for everyone watching too, Venus did not go retrograde today. Venus went retrograde December 19th, which was actually before we launched this project. But today it moves into Sagittarius from Capricorn. So my kind of take on this is, again, because the Venus retrograde energy does tend to churn up issues in our relationships, love and otherwise. Capricorn, the past couple weeks may have seen people with stressful situations as far as their work partnerships go. I imagine like Capricorn energy, fundamentally is ruling your career sector. Like I imagine that people's work wives and them were not like, getting along or whatever. But so now we've moved. Venus retrograde has transitioned into Sagittarius, where it is going to get spicy, and like your urges to do crazy things
or crazy people,
or crazy people.
So yeah, I would definitely agree with that, because Sagittarius and Capricorn, while they're next to each other in the zodiac, exude very different energies, and for very different personal reasons that they do. Sagittarius they are known to, like to explore far and wide with all of their fire energy wherever it may land. Um, Capricorns, not so much. They're going to take their time and really decide if you are worth their time or their money. Because with Capricorns, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And that's just the way it's going to be. So I would say that during this whole Venus retrograde transit, which started in Capricorn, moves to Sagittarius, and then goes back in Capricorn, practical relationship issues, values, and how you really want to show up in your relationships, how you want your relationships to show up for you, and what practical steps you can take to achieve the passionate energy from the Sagittarius. But you need both of those. You can't just have that Sag energy because woo!
Yeah, that's like really that's very constructive advice for this period. And yeah, be warned against thinking that goes in the complete opposite direction, where you all of a sudden like want to abandon something that's been safe and steady because you get a wild hair. It's like, just put a pin in it, you know, check on it at like the beginning of February and see if you still feel that way, because it might just be Venus retrograde wiling out in your brain a little bit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Retrogrades just tell you you're not in the mindset to make any real life-changing decision. Or let me rephrase that. It's not best that you do. If you have to, sure, just understand that it's not going to be what you think it is. It's going to
mhm.
be what it is for that moment. And just, chill out. It'll give you time. You may get more clarity. You may find out that your partner was cheating on you. You may find out that your partner has no money or owes a lot of money. There may be a lot of things that you just didn't know that you may know. So really take your time, because even though I know we feel like life is short, there you don't have to rush love. I know that sounds like, and I'm not trying to quote a song, but I'm sure that's what it was.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's
but
very
uh
organic.
but this is the time where you really want to take the time, and I feel like all of today's circumstances have taught us, like you said, work relationships, everybody was kind of going back in the office, and there was a lot of tension behind, I'm sure, just the comfortableness of going back into a
Hmm.
work environment with people, and where they're doing in their homes, and
Who's
so
breathing on them and when?
and all of those things. So really just enjoy this time. My best advice is that Valentine's Day is awesome for any kind of positive Venus energy that you want to move in with your partner, get engaged, get married, say I love you. All of those things take it to the next level. And also, if you meet somebody new in this time, give it time, give it a lot of time. You guys may not be on the same page in what you're looking for when it comes to that kind of Venus energy.
See, and I was going to bring that up with respect to retrogrades in general. Is like, I think, because we've talked about this before, I feel like a good rule of thumb with retrogrades is if it's something that started before the retrograde happened, like if you're dealing with a relationship that's been going on since, well before this transit, which started December 19th, give it a beat, you know, try and work through things. But if you're starting something brand new, like, just maybe don't, like, or just be very cautious. Like,
Be
it's
very
generally not a good time to start
be
new
very
things.
Sagittarius casual with it.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that is I would 100% agree. Also, aesthetic wise, I am all for tattoos. I would say no impulsive tattoos at this time. If you plan on this tattoo for a while and you've had the drawing and you understand, that would be good. But no, get matching tattoos, same names, getting your partner's names at this time, just not the best thing to do. And then also, if you want to change your hairstyle, bangs or anything, again, kind of pin it up. Don't do the whole chop. Um,
Yeah. Just,
you might change
just,
your mind.
yeah, Venus goes direct January 28th, right? 29th
29th in Capricorn. Yep.
in Capricorn. Give it till, give a nice week or two buffer on that. Valentine's Day, early to mid February. See if you still want the bangs. I actually truly had to stop myself today. I was in the mirror getting ready for this shit, and I was like, my bangs are just kind of, I was like, don't do it. Don't do it.
You have a
Not
Charlie Brown haircut in a minute.
right.
Be mad. And you'll
I
be
know
like,
it's
well, I
beanie
guess I
season,
gotta, yeah, girl, especially where you are. It's definitely beanie season.
but there are some things even a beanie can't cover up.
Oh,
And I
oh
didn't want to
no.
do it. Venus
Mm-mm.
retrograde. Just don't
See,
do it.
see, you knew. You were like, let me think. Let me think twice. It's like give yourself a second breather because you're like, I'm not really thinking with my heart. I'm thinking with my lust.
Yeah.
So, you
hmm
know.
I had a
Um,
thought too that this is an unfortunate timing for Venus retrograde because so many people make resolutions around aesthetics and like body goals and stuff.
mm,
And so, for again, anyone watching, listening out there, don't get disheartened if you're like health care regime, your fit body goal or whatever it is. First of all, cut that shit out. You're beautiful. Who cares?
that's
Don't
what
worry
I was
about
gonna
it.
say. Everybody's body is a body. What?
But second of all, if we're whatever, we all have goals and stuff, but if your personal body related goal is not coming to fruition right away, be patient with it. It's Venus retrograde. It's not a
And
good time for that.
no, and look for the most practically realistic body goal you can search for as far as something that is going to take some time but it'll make you feel better in the long run. Like
Yeah.
what really makes you feel better, and it could be more internal than external, and that's what you
Yeah.
might find during a Venus retrograde is honestly the other thing I was going to say, the best thing truly about a Venus retrograde to me is the focus on your own self-love, and while it is in conjunction with you may have issues with the relationships that are around you, whether it be family relationships, work relationships, partner relationships, sibling relationships, like all of those things, how you value yourself and your self-love and self-care is really going to help you focus on how it relates to other people and all your relationships outside of you, because that's always how you find that the main cup is yours, and
Yeah.
how that's filled and when it's filled, it does start with you, and then you're able to kind of expand out. Can't pour from an empty cup, can you?
hmm
I mean, you could, but nothing would come out. But anyway,
Yeah, you just be flipping a cup over.
you just
That's
be
not really
mad.
helpful.
Just
Yeah.
be mad.
Yeah, that's great. And like, now that we're talking about that, it's again with retrograde energy trying to flip the script on the way you're usually thinking about things. And so for a lot of people when they're trying to get their love life right, they're focused on, okay, what do I need my partner to do, or what's not working, you know, or if they're single and trying to attract love, like what can I be doing to make myself more attractive? And really it's like, well, how about like, what can I be doing to make myself feel good? And what part of me that is alone is being nurtured? And how can I focus
Mm.
on that part of me right now?
Dropping gems, girl. I like that one. Sorry, dropping crystals.
Yeah,
What?
that's right.
Rose quartz.
Yeah.
Love, 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 love.
It's raining rose quartz. Rose quartz is a good crystal for this transit.
Yes, it's amazing. Unconditional love, self love. It's pretty. It's pink. So
hmm
all of
Beautiful.
that.
Let it, charge under some moonlight, bring it in, wear it in your bra. Nice one to keep
Yes,
next to your heart, and
yes.
just allow yourself to receive loving energy, put that
Mm,
out there, and transmute ugly, icky energy into love and forgiveness and
yes.
positivity. Rose
And
quartz.
forgiveness, I think that's also going to be a big theme around this retrograde, as well as compassion and patience for yourself and for others. I think those are always good when it comes to retrogrades, because everybody's doing the best they can with the tools they got in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so people can only meet you as far as they can meet themselves. Have compassion. We're all out here just trying to make it every day,
Every
and
single day.
like you just never know somebody's struggles, and when it comes to self-love, You know, I've had my own personal issues with it, and I know I've had friends that have issues with it. But, you know, every day I wake up and I look in the mirror, I say, bitch, you motherfucking bad. You the shit. I love you. And goddamn it, yes, I do. I love myself, and you should too. Cassie, I know you love yourself, girl.
Yes, I do.
Yes,
I'm like
yes,
you. You're
yes.
that bitch.
We
Yeah.
see you. We
Hmm.
see you all the way. Yes, girl, come through.
And I
Um,
love people, man. I want the best for
we
most of
have
you,
to.
all of
Yeah.
you except the white supremacists. And actually, I even want the best for them. I want them to figure out to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really, they
The
wouldn't think
best for
that's
them.
best for them, but I do. Like, and what I think matters.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
just best for everybody. We live in a time where, you know, people forget that we're all connected in some way or shape or form. And if the pandemic didn't teach you that we are globally all connected, I don't know what else could have.
true.
Um,
So, on that topic, we did receive a question from a
okay.
super fan.
Burr, burr,
Let me cut
burr.
that.
Hey. Ooh.
Um, and they asked, what lessons have we learned? And I take that as like, what lessons have we learned from Venus retrograde?
You
Tanae.
can make it first. I would say the general lessons that I've learned, the biggest lesson that I've learned in every retrograde, and especially the one you mentioned, because that was a very poignant one in my life, was self-worth. Absolutely knowing your self-worth and not settling for less and being around any energies that did not reflect that back to you. And self-love. I mean, Venus retrograde is just really good for knowing your worth. And that has been one of the biggest lessons I've learned in my life. And I am so thankful for it and also that I don't have to learn it again. What about you?
That's wonderful. I am grateful for that for you. And now that everyone has shared that with you. So I have a, a in serious one, which is, I think, the lesson of learning that you're enough. You know, that part of self-love where you don't, it's like, oh, okay, I don't have to change everything about me to feel okay and be enough. But so
Exactly.
my silly slash real life example of Venus retrograde and what not to do is, from this Venus retrograde for Christmas, I received a bunch of new, like, clean, awesome skincare products, which
Uh-huh.
I'm stoked about because I love that type of shit. Well, I tried to use like all of them at once, you know what I'm saying? And I like made myself break out, which never happens to me. And I was like, you know what? I'm doing too much. I don't need to fix every aspect of my skin right now. Like, it's fine as
Nah,
it is.
girl, let it
I'll
be
stick
natural.
with
Let it
my
be
regime.
natural.
And it was great. And so, yes, that was the lesson I have for
Well,
you from Venus retrograde.
that is a quality lesson. We did get another question, and it is, what are some of the examples that amplify the self in Venus retrograde?
Mm. What are some examples to amplify yourself in Venus retrograde? So I would say get, getting in touch with the things that you really value. So get your journal out, look within, write it down. Like, even if you aren't like, it's sometimes hard to articulate the things that are really important to you and the things that you value. And it is sort of shocking sometimes how difficult that is. So whatever you have to do, if you just want to start, my sixth grade teacher had an exercise where you just started out like writing, your name over and over again until you started writing something else. And just like get your pen out and write your own name, and then start writing about what means something to you, and try to get down deep into those values. And then once you have that, that's your seed to work with and allow to blossom. Like, okay, how can I nurture that thing in myself that's really important to me.
Okay, I like that. I am gonna go with I love yours actually because I think that a lot of people who aren't able to always verbally express how they feel do well being able to at least get it out in written word.
Hmm.
And seeing it on paper makes it real.
Yeah.
I would go with the self-care of the luxuriating bubble bath.
Mm.
I
Hmm.
would go with the face mask, the, foot massages, anything
Hmm.
like that. I would go
A
with
brand you've already used,
that,
though.
that, that. I would say like, fresh sheets, things like that.
Mm.
Something
Hmm.
very, very luxurious, or treat yourself to a really nice meal, like
Hmm.
something that you really, or something like a good dessert, something like that. So really just love on yourself in a very tangible, physical way. But I'm all about that. Aromatherapy, that
Oh,
always
yeah.
works.
See,
Yeah.
so like nice things within reason. Buy yourself a meal. Don't buy a boat. Like, just
Don't
like,
buy everybody a meal.
yeah.
Capricorns won't.
But a Sagittarius might. If you
They'll
don't
buy
have the
everybody
money,
drinks. They'll buy
yeah.
everybody drinks.
You don't have the money to pick up the whole tab. Don't do it. You don't
No,
have to. You
no,
don't owe
no.
that to anybody.
Mm-mm.
I like that answer though. That's good. Everybody could use that, especially during Venus retrograde and especially during the winter. This is also an unfortunate timing for Venus retrograde because it's just a dark, hard time of year. And if you're single and that starts to feel itchy and wonky too, that sucks. Or if you're in a relationship and that starts to feel itchy and wonky, it sucks too, because you're kind of trapped indoors. And y'all, it's still a pandemic. I don't care what they say. So be careful on the streets.
Neither does the CDC, but hey, whatever. God bless America. Um,
Right.
so yes, ma'am.
Before we
Oh,
leave,
yes.
I'm not, Tanae is going to pull a card for
Yes, we are.
everyone.
So I have decided on, I'm going to share something very personal. The deck that I've chosen is the psych Freudian, psychic, psychic tarot of the heart, oracle deck by John Holland. I really enjoy this deck. It's very similar to a regular tarot deck, except for a lot of the energies are just represented differently than in your normal tarot deck. This is also a personal one because this deck is dedicated to my mom, who was a Taurus and, of course, ruled by Venus. And so this
Oh.
deck is super special to me. So I have pulled all the major arcanas, and this deck also comes with chakra cards. So I am going to find out what energy we can use for Venus retrograde in order to use it for the best, and then make the best decisions come Valentine's Day because we're all chilling until then, right? Cool. All right. So let me just focus. Okay. Well, we have two out. Ah, look at this. The sun and the star. What?
Ooh.
So in the star comes first. That is heal in this deck. So as you can see, even though the person is wrapped in all white, which gives me the energy of a lot of purity and really breaking down to the bare bones. And the chains are broken free, and you can see the light coming up from the foot. So it starts at the root chakra and moves all the way up. That this person is healing through whatever has arisen. So during Venus retrograde, really focus on healing. And this is a person that's by themselves. So really focus on what you need to heal and how you want to feel for your self love. And the second card that came out, the sun. Side note, this is Aquarius energy and this is Leo energy. And it says shine. And so I think that's also great. Once you heal, you move forward and you can just let your light shine and you really know how you feel about yourself, and the world deserves to see that too. And at the bottom of the deck, blossom, aka judgment, heal, no real second chances, if anybody wants them. But closure is always good, and you'll blossom from that and find a new beginning once Valentine's Day starts. So, those are the messages. I think those are great. What do you?
I love it. Yes, that's great. I love the idea of that star energy giving us the light within to become the sun, because those two are very intrinsically connected, right?
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Beautiful.
Well,
As always.
this has been amazing. Guys, please join us. Our next live will be next week for the new moon in Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be
Sunday
night, January 2nd. It will be 11 p.m. So a little bit later than now. We want you to join us. Also, if anybody you know, wants to come hang out with us, talk about their charts, talk about life, whatever on the show, hit us up. Check out our Instagram.
This could be you. This could be you.
You want it to be you. You want it to be you. Look at our Instagram in the bio. All the info is there. Share with your friends. Thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with us, Cassie. As always, girl, I see you in the chat.
I will. I love you.
Love
Bye,
you.
y'all.
Bye.
Thank you.